G'day Argy Bargy crew, hope you're having a fantastic day today and your family's happy and healthy. Okay, this is a video that I decided to make because I've been getting a lot of questions about on the road trucking simulator. So I thought I'd make a quick video, answer those questions that people have been asking, or the most asked questions. So come along for a ride with me. We're doing a delivery and this is all unedited. I'm going to just drive and see what happens so that you can see what the game's really like with no editing and no BS. And as you can see, the steering is one of the problems, but anyway, we'll get on to that. So yeah, the most asked questions, let's see what I've got a list here I'm going to read from. And the first one, does the steering wheel work and what's the force feedback like? I use the G29, as you can see in the top left there, and it has resistance. I've set it up through G-Hub so that it has resistance, but as far as tactile feel, like force feedback itself, no. You don't feel the physics of the truck, you don't feel the road surface, you don't feel it pulling to the left or pulling to the right, so there is no physical force feedback, just a resistance when you're turning from left to right. But that is because I've set it up that way so that there is resistance, so that at least it sort of gives a bit of a pushback when you're turning left or right. But as far as force feedback, no, there is none. It does work as far as steering goes. Come on mate, let me in. I'm not going to, are you? Okay, so yes, it does work as far as steering goes. It steers left and right, no problems, and it does the full lock, etc. But there is absolutely no force feedback at the moment. The devs have said they're working on that and that they're going to do something about it, and hopefully that will happen within the next patch or whatever. But I will say this, with the latest patch that they've done, there has been a lot of improvements. The game's still not there though. Alright, so just heads up. Gear shift is the next question I got. Does the gear shift work? Well, yes it does, but all the trucks so far that I've used, and I've only used two, if you see me sort of look back like that, it's because this video is a bit of a test as well, because I'm using a new recording system and a new capture card, and I just wanted to test it out, see how it's going. So if my voice or any of the volume sounds a bit weird, please let me know in the comments below so that I can correct it for the next video. Right, so the where were we? Gear shift. So the gear shift does work, but it only works as an automatic gear shift. In other words, you can put it in drive, neutral, or reverse. That's it, nothing else. So there's no going through the gears like you do in other truck simulators that have 18 speeds and stuff like that. The other thing is that what was it? Oh, how many different trucks? Okay, again, I can't really answer that question because I haven't leveled up through past level 1, I think I'm at the moment, and there's only 2 trucks that I can see that you get in level 1. But apparently there is more trucks, but again, that's a question I can't answer at this stage because I haven't gone through the levels. Can you fast travel is the next question. The answer to that is, again, I don't know. I've tried different ways to find out. I even went as far as asking on the forums, and so far I've had no reply, and that was like a week ago. So I'm guessing that's a no. I'd say you can't fast travel. The only way that I can think that you could possibly do it, no, that wouldn't work. I was thinking of doing the same as what I do in Farm Simulator 22, where I actually leave a vehicle at a point and then I just jump out of the vehicle I'm in and into that vehicle, and that way I fast travel to where I want to go. But again, you can't do that here. You actually physically have to get out of the truck that you're in, or drive the truck that you're in to the other truck or to the other area, and get out of this truck and physically get into the other truck. So I don't think there's any fast travelling or anything like that. So yeah, so does the steering wheel work? Yes, but with no force feedback. Does the gear shift work? Yes, but it's automatic. Is it fast travel? No. I'd have to say a resounding no at the moment. Eye tracking. As you can see, I'm using an eye tracker, well, it's actually a head tracker at the moment, and that is through my use. As you can see there, I've moved. You can, yeah, I can look around. You can use your webcam, cheap webcam. I'm using a $20 webcam that I bought, and OpenTrack software. I've done a video showing how you can set that up for ATS and ETS, but you can. It's exactly the same setup for this game. The only thing I will say is that I've had one instance where I've jumped into the game and the eye tracking didn't work no matter what I did. So I had to get out of the game. I went back in, it still didn't work, and it didn't start working until like a day later or something. I don't know what that was. It may have just been my computer. I don't think it has anything to do with the game, because basically the eye tracking with OpenTrack doesn't actually use anything in game except for the mouse movements to operate. So yes, eye tracking does work with it using, like I say, a cheap webcam and OpenTrack. And like I say, if you want to check that video out, I'll leave a card up in the right that you can click on, and it'll take you to the video that shows you how to set it up. Again, it shows you how to. That's the other thing. The AI traffic is still bad in this. They take each other out. Anyway, yes. So the eye tracking, if you want to have a look at that, it's for ATS and ETS, but it works exactly the same on the road. Is it worth it at the moment? Is the other question that I get, and I'd have to say that's totally a subjective question. Is it subjective or objective? I keep getting those two confused. Anyway, it's totally up to the way you feel as far as whether it's worth it or not. I can't answer that question for anybody. I don't know your budget. I don't know if you're tight on money, if you've got heaps of money to spend. I don't know what you expect from a game. If you're expecting a fully polished game, I will say this: no, it's not worth it, because it's not a fully polished game. So if you're looking for one that's got all the bells and whistles ironed out and there's no bugs or anything, no, it's not that. It's still in its early stages, even though it actually was in early access in 2017, so it's been in development for quite some time. But I will say that recently the developers have started making more patches and updates, whatnot. We had a major update recently, and we've had a hot fix patch since then, so it looks like the devs are definitely paying attention to it. So I'll say that if you're prepared to purchase a game knowing that it's not polished, it's not finished, and you're willing to wait for the devs to do that, and hopefully they will. That's the other problem. You've got to hope that they do continue to develop it. So the choice is yours. I won't tell you whether or not it's worth it. I'll tell you, in my eyes, I paid full price for this. I'm prepared to wait for the devs to get together and get it going, because it has heaps of potential, and it has. The best part about this game is the loading and unloading, where you can get out of the vehicle and load the truck yourself. It's unlike a lot of games. In fact, I don't know of any games except for maybe logistics. What is it? Trucking and logistics, or truck and logistics. That's another one where you can load yourself. Yeah, so it's either that or this game as far as loading and unloading goes. So the best part about this game is the loading and the unloading. And as you can see, the steering's not very good. It's like floating. You're floating on the road. You can't feel whether or not you're drifting to the left or to the right until it's obviously too late sometimes. Anyway, back to what I was saying. As far as it being worth it, that's up to you. Is it realistic is another question I get. Well, you can see from what you're watching here, it's not totally realistic. I mean, no game is. Is it as realistic as you can make other trucking games? No, but it's as realistic as you can make it. That's a hard question to answer. Because there's no force feedback in the steering, I have to say no, it's not really realistic. The economy and the way you pick jobs, that is more realistic than any other truck game that I've tried or that I own. Meaning that, for example, if you look here, you can see I've got a job with one of my truck drivers, and what you can do is if you're driving a long distance, you can actually choose 3 or 4 different places to drop off on the way, meaning you can plan your route and your pickups and drop-offs, meaning that instead of just being able to pick up one job, drive to a destination, drop it off, and that's it, you can actually pick up 2 or 3 different jobs and drop off 2 or 3 of them. I just did something else. That red car. Yeah, you can drop off 2 or 3 jobs along the way. So, therefore, as far as the logistics side of it goes, yes, it is very realistic. So again, you can pick up at a place and say you're going to drive 700 kilometres or miles, whatever it may be, and along the way you can see that there's areas that you can drop off. You can pick up jobs for that area, either from where you've picked up originally, or you can pick up along the way and then drop off along the way and then drop off at your final destination, if you know what I mean. So what I'm saying is you can plan to pick up and drop off various jobs along the way so that you're not doing the one. That side of it is very realistic, and the fact that you can open and close the rear doors of your trailer and load your trailer yourself, that's realistic. As far as the physics of the game, the feeling of the truck and the trailer, no, not very realistic, because in fact there's no physics at all that I can feel through the steering wheel or through the trailer or through the truck. So hopefully that answers your question. It wasn't too confusing. Next question, are the controls easy to use? Meaning like the user interface and whatnot. Resounding no. They are very difficult to get the hang of. They're very confusing. Half the time you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know, but I can't get used to the UI on it. Yeah. And there's another proof of the steering. Yeah, I had to turn suddenly there because that's the other thing, that's part of the user interface. The GPS isn't very intuitive, so therefore you're not, how can I put it, you're not being able to know when to turn all the time. There's no voice GPS or narrator, so you've got to constantly check your GPS and make sure that it's right, and half the time it's very hard to tell where you're supposed to actually turn or whatever. So yeah, the user interface, even for example the ignition, there's like 2-stage ignition, then you've got a card, an EU card that you've got to place into a slot, and then you've got to confirm it, and sometimes you press the button, it doesn't work, you've got to go back and try again. So no, the user interface is very confusing, it's not easy to use. But again, there's talk of that being updated soon and improved, so let's hope that's the case. One of the other questions I get is, what is it like on console? I don't personally know, I don't have a console, so I only drive on PC. Although friends that have got the game on console have told me that it's basically the same as what it is on PC. So that's about the best I can do as far as answering that goes. And as you can see there, for some reason the truck stalled, and now I've got to try and get the truck to start. Put it in gear. It wasn't too hard that time. Okay. So that, like I say, the game itself is definitely unpolished, but it's got heaps of potential. The graphics aren't that bad. I mean, as far as the graphics are concerned, that was another question. Are the graphics any good? The trucks graphically are very detailed. and very clear. They're not, they're not bitty, they're not pixelated or anything like that. The scenery is basic, as you can see, but I can say this, it's nowhere near as bad as other truck games that are on the market at the moment. Case in point, Alaskan Road Trucker, that the graphics on that are abysmal. The interiors are blurry, everything's blurry on it, and yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's nowhere near as good a quality as ATS or ETS2. As far as the scenery goes, the interiors of the trucks and the exteriors of the trucks are very detailed and very clear. I don't have any lagging problems with the game. So, as far as that goes, I mean, the mirrors are very clear. Alaskan Road Trucker, again, using that as an example, the mirrors on that are atrocious. The lag in the mirrors is, yeah, just a joke. You'll be driving along, a car will go past on the opposite side of the road, like this truck, for example. Now you'll see it in the mirror on this game. The truck will go past in Alaskan Road Truckers, and it'll be 3 or 4 seconds before it goes past in the mirrors. So there's so much lag, and the quality of the image in the mirrors is garbage. It's pixelated, blurry, it's a mess. So the graphics are pretty good considering compared to other games on the market. I'm waffling on. But anyway, so yeah, you get the idea. Okay, I was going to leave the video there, but I decided to keep recording, and as you can see, some strange things started to happen.
Bye!
The road disappeared. So just to show you that this definitely is unedited. Well, that little bit was edited because I was going to cut the video, but I decided I'd continue recording. And as you can see on the other other side of the road, cars are plummeting way to their death. All the lemmings are continuing to drive off the edge. So as you can see, the game still has some problems. But hopefully the devs will fix that. I'll report this to them and let them know, bye-bye, so they can check it out all out. Yeah, okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and share it with your friends if they're wondering about On the Road and what it's like. And if you did enjoy it, catch you next time.